really doing this right now? That's crazy! I wouldn't agree to help you.
There is nothing wrong with this. Keep your voice down. I need only a few more seconds.
But what if someone sees us here? And Ming certainly won't be happy with this.
Don't worry about the others. And for Ming, doesn't he know everything that is present? If he would be against it, he would react already. As the skull is left very uneasy and anxiously looks around for anyone nearby, the sage sits on the ground and works with a special piece of clay, forming a key from it. Carefully replicating a complex pattern he has formed from another piece of clay mold. The sage is located in a hallway, just before the gate leading to Library of Knowledge. After a short moment of listening to more of the skull's whining, the sage was done with his work. It is ready, priest. Let's hope it won't break under the pressure. For the final touch, the sage put this key into a magical metal box. In seconds, the clay was fired by this simple tool and was ready to use, as if it went through the whole process of hardening. The sage stood up, put his newly forged key into the library's gate and slowly started turning it clockwise. With the help of a thin metal needle put alongside the key's blade as a stabilizer, a subtle click was heard. The lock is opened.
Oh, I have a really bad feeling about this. Maybe we should go back.
Do as you please, but I won't back off. This is what I have to do. The sage moved the gate slightly, just so he could enter. The skull, hesitant at first, decided to quickly follow the lead, leaving the gate ajar. As they were moving through the colossal shelves filled with all kinds of books and parchments, the sage was in awe. Wherever he looked, there was no end. Every space between those shelves seemed like a never-ending path. So long that the fog was preventing him to see it all. When he looked above, the same applied, completely lost in his thoughts of this place, while the skull seemed to be concerned about losing their tracks. For some time now, it tried to catch Sage's attention, but he simply couldn't hear. His tunnel vision ended when he stopped moving, out of nowhere, trying to remind himself, what is he actually looking for?
Hey, Venitus! For our own sake, listen to me!
What is it, priest?
Finally, some contact with you! While you were wandering with your head in the clouds, I was trying to warn you. Look around, we're lost!
Ah, if that's your main concern, then there's nothing to worry about. I can easily recall my every step, so we are far from being lost.
Oh, I suppose I must trust you. But why are we here anyway? Basically breaking into this place. Do you want to steal something or what?
No, not at all. From what I understand, I will have to use the knowledge stored in here to protect the balance of this world. But I don't agree with being reactive. I believe the so-called interceptors must be proactive. If no one else thinks the same, then I will be their example.
That doesn't even answer my question. Why are we here now? You can't just read all of the world's history.
I do not intend to do so. I just have a feeling. There is something here. Something I must see. But all these books and scrolls look the same to me. We must go further. Unwillingly, the skull decides to still follow the sage. At this point, it needs him to find the way out. As they stroll for a bit longer, something catches Sage's attention. A wooden pedestal in the middle of empty space. Bookshelves all around, but none of them are standing close. The mist doesn't dissipate here, hiding what is on top of this pedestal. The sage walks closer to it and slowly begins to see a tome. Little bigger than a normal book and much wider at that, with metal borders and red flannel bookmarks sticking out of it. It seems to bear no title, nor the author, but the stiff cover has some markings on it, with the most noticeable one in the middle. A circle, presented as a sigil of some kind, unknown to Sage. Ah, this is it. I don't know what exactly yet, but I have a strong hunch. I need to see this.
Oh, I don't know about this. I, for your consideration, have a greatly bad hunch.
Huh. Then we are in the middle. Perfectly balanced.
Oh, aren't you a clever one? Now you've seen this book, can we go back now?
The sage already lost the touch of reality. He cannot hear anything other than his own thoughts. Without a word, he steps closer to the pedestal and reaches for the tome. Feeling it, turning it in his hands, he looks for anything else of interest. There's no lock, nothing magical about it. Maybe it's a godly relic. Wouldn't hurt to look inside, wouldn't it? The skull for once doesn't present any more objections, and then the moment comes. As the sage moves the first pages, he is blinded by them. He wasn't able to read a single word, and strange feeling went all over his mind. He can hear an infinite amount of voices. Millions upon millions of differing memories about what seems to be the same. A sudden overflow of information where the time and space don't align with reality. Past becomes present, future marks the past. His eyes are closed, but in front of him are visions of many, many places, each one being the present within itself. Only a split of a second has passed, and Venitus fell onto the ground. Before hitting the stone floor, the tome shined with bright light and forced itself close. Venitus now lays on cold marble ground in the middle of entrance to this temple. Brother Renival saw him appearing out of nowhere and immediately ran to his laying body.
Venitus! Are you alright? What happened?
As he goes on his knees and holds Venitus to help him sit, he notices the strange tome laying beside Venitus.
And why is this book here?
Venitus opens his eyes. Seemingly confused, leaves his head hanging and begins to mumble under his nose. Venitus is our name, delighted in shame. Must make a bloodbath out of them.
What are you saying? You must be hurt, we have to go to...
A dagger goes through the man's neck, reaching his spine, an instant and painless death. His body slides onto the ground and the dagger remains in hand of Venitus himself. As he stares down the profusely bleeding dead body before him, he simply ignores it, stands up and gazes upon the closed tome on the ground. In the meantime, back in the library.
Oh shoot! What was that? Venitus! Venitus! Hello? Oh, for God's sake! I must somehow get out of here. Maybe others will know what happened. Help! Help someone! Can somebody hear me?
The skull flies around the whole place for a few good minutes, which seem much longer than they should. Finally, another voice is heard. One of the brothers entered the library and was able to find the skull.
What are you doing in this place? You shouldn't be here.
I know. Now there's no time for this. Venitus was with me and something went wrong. He opened the forbidden tome and suddenly disappeared.
He did what? Weren't you supposed to keep an eye on him until instructed otherwise by Ming?
Oh, I don't know. Ming didn't tell me anything specific. I just had to help him find this temple and keep him company. I was not supposed to force or prevent him from anything.
No one knows what's truly in the Forbidden Tome. It is forbidden for a reason.
Oh, please spare me the lecture. I tried my best, he couldn't be persuaded. Once Venitus decides, he doesn't stop. And remember, I can read minds. Before you ask, yes, he didn't know about the tome, going into this all. He had some weird intuition, like it was calling to him.
Enough. We'll have to speak about it with the others. We don't know what to expect. Let us hurry.
The man got them out of the library and they quickly headed to inform the others. But before they could reach anyone, out of nowhere, the man was covered in bright yellow flames, and in a matter of few seconds, he was burned to a crisp.
What? What is it now? Oh, Clarence, what is this witch aura around this place? A spell. A powerful one, and its source... The entrance. The entrance. Oh, I hope it's not what I think it is. Otherwise, there might be no one alive left.
The skull stormed into the main hall and saw Venitus standing with a magical sigil. Closed tome in one hand and a bloodied dagger in the other. On the side, body of Brother Renival, laying in a puddle of blood.
Goodness gracious, Venitus! What did you do?
Venitus drops the dagger and stares at his empty hand. Not even a flinch. Then and now, I remain assured of my actions, yet my mind is still overwhelmed. With time, all will be clear. The skull tries to enter his thoughts, but isn't able to. Out of fear, it decides to take hostile actions. It opens its jaws, and flames gather in front of it, preparing for a powerful blast. When it was about to fire, a simple snap of a finger. Venitus looks at the skull, still with a stoic face, now more than ever, since his mind cannot be read.
How? But you can't use any magic!
A prediction which came true so many times. I am not your enemy. Do not attempt any more of this.
Will you please explain this to me? Why do you keep ignoring me?
I don't. I hear every single word you speak. In fact, I've heard them so many times, in so many different ways. The simple answer is... I don't know how. At least I cannot comprehend it yet in the chaos of my own thoughts.
Why? Is everyone dead?
Without a scroll or any tool, a spell unknown to me prior to this bizarre event, your assumption of it is correct. Forbiddance is the spell called. Such a complex spell, yet I knew how to bend magic around it so it would be forced to change. With it, I designated all humanoid creatures within this temple except myself to be dimmed. unwanted. Ah, and of course, about that. Every other future Interceptor met its end. I must speak with Ming.
You're not the same person, I know. I really lack words for this.
Then let us leave them as they are for now. Ming, no ritual nor reliquary is needed right now. Come, speak with me. The whole place slowly begins to shift and change. Dark feathered smoke appears, covering everything. The temple and the skull simply disappear out of sight. And Ming is already standing there, same as before.
It is rare to hear someone call my name in such way. I must say, you've made quite a spectacle.
I have a message for you, Ming. From far away, time and places where none but me can see into. But before I deliver it, tell me, did you know it would all happen this way?
Why so? Is there a need for you to ask me? You seem to know much more than ever before.
You're not wrong, but I want to ask. For now, not everything is clear to me and I am not able to decipher this mess.
Then no, I didn't know such thing would happen. Although I think I understand why it did. Is this message of yours related to all of this?
You're not the only Ming, and you know it. I, Venitus, have become the long-awaited Interceptor. The first and the last one to appear. Through me, you will be able to contact all other yourselves.
Ah, splendid. So that's how the being of Interceptor came true. One and only, yet shares fate of many. Do you understand your situation?
Not fully, but I hear unknown voices which are mine. Endless thoughts that come from infinite number of sources. I am connected to all the other me.
You see, when I took this burden to care over the universe, the primal forces at power went in shambles. That I already told you. But in case of a great calamity, which would destroy the whole existence that we know, I created infinite amounts of perfect reflections of our universe. Cosmic horrors. Instances of our universe which cannot affect one another. No gods, not even primal powers are able to. For each cosmic horror has their own. But nothing can be a perfect reflection, and I knew it. So each cosmic horror at the core had little to no differences. One affects the other, and in time it all snowballs into all possible outcomes. Some cosmic horrors might be very similar to our universe, yet others went on a completely different path. Probability, predictions of mine. Even if I cannot see other cosmic horrors, I can accurately assume how they work. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. So I am the exception, the one who connects them all.
You are here to keep the balance. I can only imagine having ability to share every thought, emotion and experience with all possible variations of yourself. Space, time and balance. Now we know how the last of them finds its way in this equation.
Even if one cosmic horror meets its end, there are still the others. And since none of them are perfectly the same, at least one will survive. A perfect solution for preservation. And from me, the Interceptor, mistakes of one cosmic horror can be prevented in all of the similar ones. And now I awakened to protect the cosmic horror zero, where we exist. The name for those reflections, cosmic horrors.
I know what she wants to ask. It was a common knowledge in much older age. Because of how the cycle of disappearing knowledge functions in this world, notes and researches known to mankind about it were lost. Now, as you yourself knew, cosmic horrors are perceived as other planes of existence, which are still a part of one universe. Only I, and now also you, know about the true cosmic horrors.
Well then, I have no more questions for now. All the others, I will be able to answer myself in time.
Today we witness a great moment for our world. To restore the control of primal powers, I still need to find a solution for time.
It seems the universe already found its way. My head. I can see a great danger coming to us. In the next 1,000 of years, a great evil will be born and prosper. Greed and shadows, which will consume the whole universe. Many cosmic horrors already went through it. Not a single one survived the breaking point. From what I see, this one, ours, has the only chance to win against this evil. Those calculations.
It seems we'll have plenty of time to plan for this. For now, you're still not used to this. Rest, let your mind merge properly with the others, and learn from the Toma.
You're right. Before you send me back, I have one last request. The skull. Do not make him perish. I can see him proving useful in all the alternatives he was spared in.
As you wish, Mr. Interceptor.